Have you ever felt like your life is just passing by, leaving no real mark? That you're living, but not truly alive, trapped in routines that drain your spark? What if just one small change each day could shift everything? Sometimes we don't realize how much time we're wasting until we look back and see a trail of ordinary days lost in routine. Every morning, we wake up and dive into the same rhythm. Tasks, obligations, and slowly fading dreams. But just imagine if every single day you chose one small step to grow, to push your limits, and move closer to the person you truly want to become. In this video, you'll discover how to stop wasting your potential and start walking the path toward your best self. The Stoics left us 13 powerful lessons that, when applied daily, can transform your life. From building unshakable habits to thriving in discomfort and letting go of comparison, these teachings are keys to daily self-improvement. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. What you need is the courage to begin, the will to push yourself, and the discipline to live by your values. The real question is, are you ready to start? Before we go further, let me tell you Laura's story, a story of an ordinary woman who found an extraordinary way to live. Laura's story shows us something vital. Transformation doesn't happen in one big moment. It lives in the way we treat each day. Think about this. Tonight, when you go to bed, how do you want to feel? Proud because you made progress, or disappointed because you let another day pass without meaning? So the real question is, how do you make the most of every single day? Each morning, ask yourself, what can I do today to be better? Not something huge, just something that counts. Something that adds up over time. Want to strengthen a relationship? Call that person. Want to learn something new? Spend 30 minutes reading or watching a thoughtful video. But do it today, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow is just another excuse. And here's something else I want you to try. Every morning, ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? That's something I learned from Roxy Nafusi. She suggests starting the day by setting an intention for your energy, because it's not just about checking off tasks. It's about the attitude you bring to those tasks. Are you approaching the day with gratitude, with enthusiasm, with determination? That energy shapes everything, your feelings, your actions, and ultimately the outcome of your day. Never underestimate the power of a single day. Every day is a chance to grow, to move closer to the life you want. But if you keep waiting for that perfect moment, it might never come. So tell me, how much longer are you going to wait before you start building something that truly matters? Because the truth is, you are far more capable than you believe. And the first thing standing in your way might just be yourself. In the last part, we talked about how your biggest obstacle is often yourself. Now let's explore how to overcome that by building systems instead of chasing goals. Let me share a personal experience. A few years ago, I had an injury that required me to stretch every day to avoid pain. At first, I struggled to be consistent. One day I'd do it, the next I'd forget or just not feel like it. It was frustrating. Then one day, I changed my approach. I stopped relying on motivation or memory. I built a system. I placed my yoga mat right next to my bed, so it was the first thing I saw each morning. I chose a specific 3-minute song to play and committed. No excuses. When the song plays, I stretch. In just a few weeks, it became automatic. I no longer had to think about it. The habit stopped being a burden. The system changed everything. Scott Adams, creator of Dilbert and author of How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big, puts it bluntly. Goals are for losers. Systems are for winners. He means that focusing only on the end result can lead to frustration. Every small setback feels like failure. But with a solid system that moves you forward daily, you'll keep going, no matter what. So how do you build a system that creates unbreakable habits? Start small. Let's say you want to drink more water. Don't aim for 2 liters right away. Begin by drinking a single glass as soon as you wake up. And make it easy. What's more effective? Walking to the kitchen for water, or having a full bottle ready on your nightstand? The answer's obvious. When you remove friction, habits become effortless. Now here's a key tip. Link your new habit to something you already do. This is called habit stacking. If you already brush your teeth, every morning use that as a trigger. Right after brushing, drink the glass of water you placed the night before. Why does this work? Because when you anchor a new habit to an existing one, you don't have to remember it or use willpower. Over time, it becomes automatic. Seneca said it centuries ago. Consistency beats talent. It's not what you accomplish in a single day. It's what you sustain over time. Think of habits like a flowing river. You don't need to push the water. You just need to design the right path and let it carry you day after day. Believe me, building systems isn't about making life harder. It's about making success easier and more reliable. Previously, we talked about the lumberjack, a powerful metaphor that reminds us if we don't invest in ourselves, we'll keep working harder, but going nowhere. So now let me ask you, have you really been taking care of yourself lately? You've spent weeks putting out fires at work, helping others, and pushing your own needs to the very bottom of the list. And at the end of each day, how do you feel? Drained, unmotivated, running on fumes. That, my friend, is the problem. When you don't invest in yourself, each day gets harder than the last. But here's the good news. Investing in yourself doesn't require massive sacrifices, just small, intentional changes that matter. Devote 20 minutes a day to something that nourishes your body or mind. Go for a walk, read an inspiring book, or simply sit in silence and meditate. These moments might feel insignificant, but they recharge your spirit in ways you may not even realize, and more importantly, learn to say no. It sounds simple, but it isn't. Yet every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your well-being. Maybe that means canceling a meeting that doesn't matter. Maybe it's skipping a draining obligation. Those no's are boundaries, and they protect your most valuable resources, your time and your energy. Think of investing in yourself like putting money into a high-yield account. At first, the results are small, but day by day the return multiplies. Over time, you're not just surviving. You're building the life you've always dreamed of. And that is worth fighting for. So let me ask you, what are you doing today to invest in your best self? Will you keep using a dull axe, or will you start sharpening it now? Let us know in the comments, how are you going to invest in yourself today? That small step may just be the beginning of the life you deserve. In the last part, we talked about small, consistent steps. But now, let's face the truth. Real growth begins outside your comfort zone. So let me ask you, are you still sitting in your nest, waiting for things to change while you remain still? Listen closely. If everything around you is easy, you are not growing. Seneca once said, adversity is the training ground of the soul. He didn't view discomfort as punishment, but as a mental gym. And he didn't just preach it, he lived it. Despite being wealthy, he would sometimes sleep on the floor wear plain clothes and eat only basic food. Why? Because he knew that if his happiness depended on comfort, then losing it would break him. But if he trained himself to handle discomfort, nothing could. You might be thinking, yeah, but facing discomfort isn't easy. I get it. No one wants to be uncomfortable on purpose, but some people have made it their life's philosophy. Think of Yes Theory, their motto, seek discomfort.
Simple but powerful.
They travel without money, stay with strangers, and say yes to things most of us avoid out of fear. And they've shown that the more you face the unknown, the stronger you become. No, I'm not asking you to sleep on the floor or backpack without a dime, but I am asking you to start seeing discomfort as a sign of progress. If waking up early to work out is hard, if you avoid tough conversations, if trying something new scares you, then that's exactly where your next level lives. Discomfort isn't a wall, it's a compass, and I'm speaking from experience. The first time I had to speak in a meeting, I was terrified. Dry mouth, sweaty palms, shaking voice. But I didn't. Back out, I did it once, then again, and again. Now I give presentations to the entire company, even executives. What used to terrify me is now second nature, because discomfort fades when you face it enough. Now it's your turn. Take a piece of paper. Write down the things you avoid because they make you uncomfortable. Is it asking for a raise? Resolving
a conflict, going somewhere alone, pick one and face it this week. You don't have to go big.
Just take one small step. If socializing scares you, start by saying hi to someone new. Discomfort is defeated through action, not overthinking, and even more powerful, learn to reframe discomfort. See it not as danger, but as a sign of growth, like in the gym. When your muscles ache, it means they're getting stronger. Discomfort in life works the same way. Every time you feel fear, tell yourself, this is part of the process. This means I'm growing. So, what will you choose? Comfort now or growth in the long run? Because the difference between who you are today and who you want to be lies in what you haven't dared to do yet. But when you start seeking discomfort, when you accept it as part of the journey, you become unstoppable. In the previous section, we talked about stepping outside your comfort zone to grow. But here's the deeper truth. Real growth doesn't come from applause. It comes from what you do when no one is watching. If you only feel worthy when you're being praised, then, my friend, you might be walking the wrong path. Simon Sinek explains it best. When you work only for external validation, you become a slave to approval. Think about it. True success isn't in the clapping hands, but in doing what you love with discipline and consistency, even when the room is silent. So how can you apply this in your own life? First, take a moment to reflect on what truly motivates you. Do the work not for attention, but to become better each day. Because when your drive comes from within, nothing and no one can stop you. Second, learn to find joy in the process. Imagine completing a project or hitting a goal and no one
notices. Would you still feel fulfilled?
If your answer is no, then it's time to adjust your mindset. When you learn to value the work itself, even if no one sees it, you become unstoppable. Always remember, if you're doing what you do to grow, to live aligned with what matters to you, then no matter what the world thinks, you've already won. In the previous section, we uncovered the truth that self-improvement isn't selfish. It's a foundation for giving more. But even when you're on that path, there's one thing that can silently sabotage your progress: comparison. I'm sure this has happened to you. You wake up, grab your phone without thinking, and start scrolling. You see someone traveling, another person crushing it with their business, someone else in the best shape of their life, and there you are, still lying in bed, feeling like you're falling behind. But let me tell you what's really going on. You're comparing your real life to someone else's carefully edited highlight reel. And while doing that, you're not taking a single step forward in your own journey. So how can you break this cycle? First, set personal goals and measure your growth by comparing yourself to who you were yesterday, not to anyone else. If you did something better today than last week, that's progress. If you made even one step forward in your project, that's what truly counts. Your only real competition is you. Second, if social media makes you feel inadequate, step away from it. And here's a real-life rule that works wonders. Don't touch your phone for the first hour of the day. Studies show that starting your morning with social media affects your mood and puts your mind into a reactive state rather than a proactive one. A great example comes from the 5 a.m. Club podcast, where they explain, the first thing you consume in the morning shapes your entire mindset. So instead of opening Instagram, take a few moments to plan your day, read, move your body, or write. Begin your day with intentional action, not with comparison. I know it's hard, we're all hooked, but it's not impossible. Here are a few things you can do. Leave your phone outside your bedroom at night. Use an old-school alarm clock instead of your phone. Do something that makes you better first thing in the morning. Read, write, exercise, or simply focus your mind. You don't need to disappear from the internet. Just make sure the first thing you do each day isn't comparing your life to someone else's. Now ask yourself honestly, how many hours have you wasted watching someone else's progress rather than building your own? How many times has comparison stolen the energy you could have used for growth? Remember, if you commit to being a little better every day, the only comparison that matters is the one you make with yourself. In the last part, we reminded ourselves that time, if wasted on distractions, slips quietly through our fingers. But if you start giving it the attention it deserves, your life won't just improve, it will begin to impact those around you. And to do that, you must begin with your greatest foundation, your body. I'm sure it's happened to you. You try to focus, but your mind is foggy. You want to move with energy, but your body feels heavy and slow. You try to push yourself to be productive, but everything feels like an uphill battle. And then it hits.
Your body isn't responding, and that changes everything. No matter how many goals you set, how strong your mind is, if your body doesn't support you, progress becomes 10 times harder. Let me tell you about my neighbor.
For years, her life slowly dimmed. She could barely do things on her own. Even going to the grocery store was exhausting. She started staying inside, stopped smiling. Her world shrank to 4 silent walls. And the saddest part? It seemed like she had accepted it, but her daughter hadn't. One day, she decided to take action. At first, it was slow, effortful steps with barely any motivation. 10 minutes outside, short walks, then a few simple stretches, gentle exercises at home, and then something incredible happened. Her body responded, but even more amazing was the change in her mind. She wasn't the same woman anymore. Now she walks outside, chats with neighbors, laughs more, feels alive.
Again, caring for her body didn't just bring her back mobility. It brought her back to life. So let me ask you, will you wait until it's too late?
Or will you start moving today? Walk for 30 minutes a day. Don't see it as a task. Make it your moment. Some days, go out with your favorite music. Let the rhythm guide your steps. Other days, leave the headphones at home. Listen to the birds, the wind, the heartbeat of your city. It's not just walking, it's activating your body and clearing your mind. And here's one more vital habit: get enough sleep. It doesn't matter how productive you are during the day, Without proper rest, everything collapses. Want a powerful nighttime routine? Try this. Turn off all screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and create a calm atmosphere. Read a few pages, write about your day, breathe deeply. Rest is as important as movement. Seneca understood this clearly. We must train the body so that it serves the mind. Your body and mind are the most valuable tools you own. If you train and care for them, they'll be your strongest allies. If you neglect them, they become your heaviest burden. So I ask you, what's the first step you'll take to care for your body and mind today? After learning how to care for your body and mind as your true foundation, now it's time to do the only thing that truly moves you forward. Take action, because no matter how many brilliant thoughts you have, they mean nothing unless you take the first step. There's a simple yet powerful trick I want to share with you. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. When you know you need to do something but hesitation creeps in, count down in your mind 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do it before your brain has time to talk you out of it. Need to send that important message? Count down and hit send. Struggling to wake up early? Don't think, count down and get up when you reach one. Want to start a new project? Take one small step right now. Here's another crucial tip. Break big goals into small, manageable actions. Need to write a 20-page report? Don't stress, just write the first paragraph. Want to improve your health? Don't obsess about weight, just make a better food choice at your next meal. The key is motion. Even a small step matters. Because, my friend, power doesn't come from thinking about taking action. It comes from actually doing it. So let me ask you, will you keep holding the map without moving, or will you finally take the first step toward the life you truly want? Everything we've explored together so far has had one mission: to help you become better day by day. But if you truly want to build the life you desire, there's still one last piece missing, something that ties everything together: the difference between staying stuck and moving forward endlessly. Do you want to discover what it is? And this is the final piece. The one thing that can turn every idea into action, every dream into reality. Not motivation, not inspiration, but discipline. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. I told you this at the beginning because motivation is temporary. Today you feel unstoppable. Tomorrow you don't want to do anything. If you only act when you feel like it, your goals will forever remain good intentions. Discipline is what turns vision into reality. Epictetus said, "Nothing great is achieved without effort and discipline." Can you imagine Epictetus saying, "I don't really feel like mastering my mind today. Maybe I'll see if I'm in the mood tomorrow"? Impossible. He became one of history's greatest thinkers because he understood one thing: what you do daily defines who you are. So how do you become more disciplined? Step 1. List your top priorities. Then build a routine to take daily action on them. Don't try to do everything at once. Just do something important every single day. As neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains, discipline isn't about willpower, it's about training. Step 2. Make a contract with yourself. Yes, write it down, make it official, and respect it like a legal agreement. It doesn't matter if you're tired or uninspired. Keeping your promise is the highest form of self-respect. If staying on track is hard, get someone you trust to help keep you accountable. Not to pressure you, but to remind you of the commitment you made to yourself. Discipline isn't punishment, it's a gift. A gift that creates the life you truly want. So let me ask, will you keep waiting for motivation to magically appear? Or will you finally act like the person you want to become? Discipline carries you forward when no one's watching. Discipline keeps you going when applause disappears. Discipline turns dreams into legacy. Every day is a new chance to take action. You don't need the perfect moment, just the willingness to show up. Because real transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the effort you repeat, the habits you shape, the courage you build. If you've made it this far, drop a comment. I choose to grow every day. That way, I'll know who the true Stoic warriors are, those who made it to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video so you won't miss what's coming next. And if you're ready to keep growing, check out the playlist on screen. It's filled with stories, wisdom, and practical tools to help you navigate life with strength and clarity. Click it, and let's move forward together. Until next time, take care and keep embracing your inner Stoic.